Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of NYJFTV. I'm one of your hosts, Kevin Sirkin, joined on the set, as always, by Fireman Ed, Rob Carpenter. Guys, after Sunday's performance, is there any way at this point to defend our head coach? You look at everything that happened in that game, just the game management, the time management, some of those decisions in the fourth quarter to punt the football. He looks completely clueless right now. He looks like he's given up. The team is showing no fight. They are soft. I mean, what more can we say about Todd Bowles?
That's a good question because some of the stuff that's been going on is kind of, indefensible right now. When he said he would probably stick to his guns after the game with that 4th and 2 punt, I don't know too many people that actually were happy with that. And judging by the, by the looks on the players' faces, I'm pretty sure every player in that locker room would say they would rather have a chance to go for that on 4th and 2. The kid should actually just keep a drive going, actually get down the score to
And he even said his defense was gassed. He said they were gassed, and he punts the football on 4th and 2 and puts them right back on the field.
And that was, sometimes you just got to look at it and be like, man, that's just one of those games where burn the tape and just move on to the next week. But for him, hopefully it's a learning experience, second year head coach and probably hadn't been in too many situations like this. He's learning on the fly and not saying that, he hasn't had mentors where, he could learn from game situations because he's been in game situations like that. But as a head coach, little things different. But, like I said, it's some of the stuff that's going on is kind of indefensible. When you see the guys on the team are with their body language kind of questioning what's going on.
Like you said, it should be a learning experience, but he's not learning. He's doing the same things over and over and over again. Before the half, not calling timeouts.
That's what I mean.
And he even says after the game he's going to do it again.
Right.
So why should we expect it to change?
One of the things that was infuriating going along with it, because you lose sight of the timeline, but we were waiting for a turnover. We got the turnover. Fourth quarter, we got the turnover. All right, we're down 11. Leo sacks Roethlisberger, and Sheldon gets the ball. That was the same. That was right. We got the ball, and then he punted. We only went 3 downs, and he punted on 4th and 2. Well, there was momentum with the Jets. I was sitting in the front row. I seen the momentum, and rather than going on 4th and 2 was mind-boggling because you said your defense. Well, your defense just made a big play for you. Now you got the momentum. Now push your offense to get that 4th down. That's where the head coach goes, okay, we're going to start rolling here. We got to make a move. Instead, you're going to punt? What are you doing?
Yeah, you can see that actually kind of took the gas out of.
I mean, that just was
out of the balloon right there.
Oh my God! And I seen the defensive players. Man, you could see the players in general just going, what? So I mean, they're not going to question them in the media. That's not going to happen. So but body language, like you said, Rob, tells everything. Todd, I want to believe in you, and I still believe in you, but you're a Bill Parcells disciple. I mean, you ain't acting like it. Because let me tell you something. Parcells had some BALLS. All right? And right now, and I know you're from Elizabeth, and I know you're a tough guy, and you're a world champion. But, man, come on. It's time. You got to step it up, man. I mean, there's people questioning what's going on here. It's just, I could see it. They're not going to say it. I'm saying it. I mean, people are questioning. You got to step it up. You got to get more aggressive. Come on.
As bad as it is, at some point in time, during a game, during the season, you got to show faith in your offense. And that point right there was a time for him to say, you know what, let's grow a pair and show some faith in this offense and let's go get this first down. And if it didn't work, it would have actually showed the team, though, that, look, I'm willing to take a chance on you guys to actually go out and make this play to get this done. But, at this point in time, hopefully Monday night, things kind of change.
And that's
going
coming
back to
from
where
a
he's
former player that's played
change.
at the highest level, okay? So he's telling you.
And we were talking a little bit before the show about some of the body language. Ed, you were there in Pittsburgh. It looks like these guys are really starting to question their head coach.
There's no doubt about it. I don't think everyone is. I mean, I definitely think the defensive lines, some of those guys on the defensive line are without question. And, they're some of the leaders. They're definitely not happy. I could see it. It's evident. And, I could understand their frustration because they're the best players on the team. I mean, they're some of the best players on the team, and I don't think they're being put in a position to be successful. And I do believe they want to win. They want to win. We'll get into some more other things that I've seen, but that was definitely it's a wake-up call. Come on, man. Let's go.
The expectations coming into this year, to this season, were so high, and the way things are going right now, there's definitely going to be frustration all over the place, and it's going to, start in certain places that you wouldn't expect it. But with the defensive line guys being part of the leaders of this team, and when you see frustration, setting in on their part, from stuff you're hearing, what might be going on after the game in the locker room, guys getting frustrated, don't want to talk to the media, stuff like that. That lets you know expectations were so high coming into the season, and now things aren't working out the way they expect them to be. So there's only one way to go, and you can't go down any further. So changes might have to be made, and if guys see the coaching staff actually looking to improve this team in ways like that, of making changes in some places, and don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting there saying that Fitz needs to be replaced or anything like that, but guys know on a team that certain areas need to be adjusted. And when you sit in the locker room, me as a former player, and you sit in the locker room and guys talk, that's what you're talking about. Like, all right, what are we doing? What is it that we actually have to do to get to turn things around? And guys talk about this. So, if they don't see the coaches actually on the same page as the players, frustration is definitely going to set in, and sooner or later, you're going to have guys actually start speaking out.
So what can the Jets do to actually turn this around? Ed, you were talking a little bit about the fact that we don't have a fullback right now. All these, fourth and shorts that we've had, we don't have an option. We don't have a guy that can ground and pound right up the middle.
Well, I'm really surprised, and I did think that after week 4 they were going to sign Carlos Williams. I'm surprised. I'm shocked at that. I mean, he even made light of it. He made, in the media, he said, I'm looking forward to being a Jet. So I thought that they had something going, just waiting for his 4-game suspension. They thought he was going to Buffalo. He winds up signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad. He's still available. So if he's on a practice squad, you're able to grab him like you did Nick Marshall from the Jaguars. You're able to get him and put him on the active roster. When you have 5 times in a game that you have less than 2 yards to go, and, all right, number one, you're not going for it on 4th down, but you're not even giving yourself a chance on 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2 because you're spreading the game out, and he's constantly, Fitz, you're constantly looking for Marshall. I mean, it's getting, I'm a big supporter of yours, but listen, enough. I mean, you got to have trust in other guys. I think there is relief coming with Austin Jenkins. I really like what I see there. He's just new to the team, but I think you're going to see some really good things if we could survive and beat Arizona and give ourselves a chance to get back in this thing. All right, I'm getting way ahead of myself, but I'm getting a little nutty here.
Not really. You're not getting too far ahead of yourself, because I mentioned this right when Austin Jenkins was actually signed. I've said that he could be a huge weapon for the team. He's 6'5", 6'6", tight end.
He's a beast.
He's not slow.
No.
He's got a huge catch radius, and he already showed already that he can, make some plays down the field. So, it can only help. Even though,
and he looks
coming off of another problem off the field that he had, and so he was kind of getting killed, in the media and by some of the fans before he even stepped foot on the field. But
timing is everything.
Yeah, but
maybe he's hungry.
Cancel all of that out, and put him on the field. He can make some plays. It's a guy who's actually been in the league. He's been in the league and made plays where he was. So, he can be a target and help out everyone else. Looking at what Quincy does in, running routes down the field through the seams, that's what a big tight end can do. Put Quincy somewhere else to actually take advantage of what he can do, because Quincy's another big guy, Yeah.
Quincy.
So, Austin moves in, Quincy moves out. Whether it's Robbie Anderson or Jalen coming in or coming in, in a 4 receiver spot, big things can happen. We just got to actually hope that Fitz actually takes advantage of what's going on. He hasn't been around enough, to practice as much with Austin. I get that. Quarterbacks have to get comfortable with the guys that they're throwing the ball to. So it might take a little time. But it seemed from the Pittsburgh game, you know, they probably have been working after practice, before practice on a lot of stuff. It's just going to take Austin probably a few more weeks to get comfortable in the entire offense. I know they probably have a package of plays for him right now, but for him to get you know, comfortable with everything that goes on in the entire offense, where he's on the field for every play, you know, it's probably going to take a couple more weeks.
The only problem is even with the tight end, you know, opposing defenses, they only have to defend like 20 yards against the Jets. We don't have any ability to connect on a deep ball. Fitz doesn't see it when it's there. I mean,
that's a problem in itself. I mean, you know, if he's not seeing, you know, the receivers and you know, the routes going down the field, I mean, that in itself is a disaster. That's just a disaster. All right? And you can't say that we didn't do it all year, because the game we won, the only game we won, they was throwing the ball down the field.
The only problem with that, though, Ed, is the fact that he threw the ball down the field when guys were wide open.
Wide open.
So it's not like he was connecting on catching runs where you're hitting a guy in stride and he can catch the ball and continue to you know, get some yak, you know, after he catches the ball. But, you know, especially like, for instance, when he hit Decker down the seam on the out and up down the seam, that guy had to slow down to catch the ball. Yeah. Brandon has to slow down to catch the ball. Robbie Anderson in the deep ball that he caught, he has to slow down to catch the ball. So
that's a great point. And it's not even the deep balls. You know, it's the short underneath routes that he just can't hit guys in stride. We're not able to get those yards after the catch.
It's tough, man, and that's, you know, Fitz is that's his thing, man, and it's been that way for his whole career. Everyone knows he doesn't have the strongest arm. That was one of the problems with him playing in Buffalo. You know, playing in Buffalo, there's a lot of wind in Buffalo. You know, the last month of the season, and trying to throw the ball against the wind with him, it just doesn't work. So defenses will shorten the field. They will take those chances to undercut routes, you know, on our receivers. So no matter how hard a receiver is trying to get open, when defense knows that you're not going to throw the ball down the field, it makes it tough.
So looking ahead to Arizona, Monday night, Jets are 1-4. Obviously, they got to have this game if they want to save their season. What are the keys to the Jets coming away with a victory Monday night?
It's the same key every week, man. Fitz just does not turn the ball over.
You know what? He didn't on Sunday, and still didn't put any points on the board.
And that I was just getting ready to say that. And also, when you get in the red zone, you have to score touchdowns. So if you don't turn the ball over and you get into the red zone, you actually have to score touchdowns to win in this league. If you're constantly on the defensive end, you know, you get into the red zone and you're kicking field goals, that's not a winning formula right there. So puts a lot of pressure on the defense to keep the other team out of the end zone. And we saw what happened. You know, when you got a defense on their heels, like Pittsburgh had our defense on the heels pretty much the entire game, you know, that's made for a disaster right there.
You know what? Once again, the defensive line, your strongest point, has to make plays. They got to make plays. If Fitz can't throw the ball down the field, it's a disaster. Okay, that's number one. Listen, you're playing in Arizona. You can't say there's a wind there. There's no wind. You know, he needs to make some plays other than Brandon Marshall. You know, he needs to look at other guys. And we got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to run the ball a little bit. You know, I think they beat up Forte with the 54 carries in the first 2 weeks. I mean, he doesn't look like he has the burst that he had in those first 2 weeks. I mean, I don't think it's a mirage. I mean, I think I'm looking at something that, you know, and I do believe that, you know, give Bilal Powell a chance in the running game. I mean, also on 3rd and 1, let him be in the backfield. If you don't have any other beast, which you don't, I mean, the kid Pope is a small guy. I seen him on the sideline. He's a small guy. He's smaller than all of them. You know, you got to be able to extend drives. All right. Every game, it's not going to be what we do on the first and second down. It's wonderful. That's in the perfect world. You know, this game is won, especially on the road. 3rd downs, short yardage plays. That's the good teams and the bad teams. They get that extra yard. They go for it on 4th and a half yard. They go for it on 4th and 1, obviously depending on the field position. But something like the 46-yard line when you're down 11 and it's 4th and 2, I mean, come on. And you just got a turnover from your defense that you were waiting for, all right, that we've been talking about. So, you know, there's certain things. The special teams, I mean, punting the ball to Antonio Brown, I mean, every time down the middle of the field, I mean, I almost got thrown out of the stadium because I said, is somebody going to, goddamn. Yeah, listen, you got to kick the ball to the sideline and give him an opportunity to make a play. I mean, especially if it's a shorter punt where you kick it to the sideline. Worst case, it goes out of bounds. You're okay. You're going to kick the ball down the middle of the field. Now you got Patrick Peterson, okay? He's probably better at punt returns than Antonio Brown. So, listen, you got to punt the ball. It's 101 football. Boyer, come on. You can't rely on your all hang times. Oh, we gave him a hang time. Come on, you got a beast back there. You know, they need the one break or the one tackle. You know that, Rob. The one tackle, and then, come on. You need special teams to make plays. You need the defensive line and the defense in general to hold up. And Fitz got to make plays. There's no wind, so got to make plays. The game's on the line. The season's on the line. I mean, if there was ever a must-win, this is it. This is it. This is the game. This could spread. You know, all they want to do in that locker room, and you know this, is just get that one win. Get that feel. Get that juice back, man, that flow. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right? Let's just win this game. Then we come home, and we're due to win a game at home. We're not going to keep losing.
It's I think that Buffalo win coming on a Thursday night might have took some of the wind out of the sails because it was so long before the next game. You know, they had that extra rest. But, you know, at this point in the season, if they go to Arizona and don't get this win,
Bryce Petty, here we come.
I fully expect that, you know, the players are probably going to be calling for some changes to be made. And what's the one position on the team that there's only one guy in that one position? You know, if they don't get this win, I'm pretty sure some of the guys in the locker room are going to be like, look, we need to make a change. We need to actually find out if somebody else can make the ship, you know, sail straight. But
and I'm in. And I agree.
I'm pretty sure that pretty much everybody else will be too, because at this point, if they come out of Arizona with a loss, the season's pretty much, you know, tanked. So, and that's kind of ironic because if Geno gets in and wins a couple of games, everybody's gonna be mad because the season didn't tank. So, but you know, they're still gonna have to look and see if some other guys can actually, you know, make some plays at the quarterback position, whether it's Geno, whether it's Petty, or even Hack. You know, somebody's gonna have to be in there at the helm and see what can happen. Not for the remainder of this season, but also for future seasons.
Absolutely. Definitely have to find out what they have moving forward. But, you know, I've been adamant about this all season. I'd love to see Geno Monday night, but I've kind of come to the realization that is not going to happen anymore. So, you know, if the Jets lose Monday night at 1-5, I think the season is pretty much set in stone. You're not going anywhere. It's time to see Petty. But if you do win, you look at the schedule after that. You got, what is it, Baltimore, Miami, Cleveland? Perfect opportunity.
Just get one win. Get this win. We'll worry about Baltimore. We'll worry about Cleveland. We'll worry about Miami. We'll just get this win. Get this one. And then maybe we get some mojo going, a little good, feel good. You know, let it all hang out there, guys. Guys, let it all hang out there. Todd, you got to send the troops. Send them. Aggressiveness. Fourth down. Go for it. Obviously in certain field positions. You know, let your team know that, hey, we are desperate. We're going to make things happen. Let's go.
One thing about coming up Monday night is that you saw the way the Pittsburgh game went. Arizona does the same thing. They take shots down the field. They have some horses at receiver, and they take a lot of shots down the field, and that's Carson Palmer's, you know, forte. He will just air it out, and he will let his receivers try to go make plays.
And he does cough the ball out.
And he does.
And he is not mobile.
No.
So this is a perfect time.
This is a perfect game for
them.
And how many times have we said that and we got nothing?
No, it's true. But I'm saying at the same time, this is the perfect game for defense to make a lot of plays. And if they can't make the plays in this game,
so is the third string right tackle that we faced last week and the hobbled Russell Wilson that we faced the week before?
I don't count that with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is a playmaker regardless. But, you know, Carson Palmer is a guy that is the prototypical quarterback. Stand in the pocket, let the ball go. He's not a quick release guy. He's just going to see his receivers, whether it's Fitz, whether it's Floyd, whether it's Brown, whoever it is, he's going to see one-on-one, I'm taking a shot. And that's been his forte for his whole career. Whoever his receivers are, he takes shots down the field. Defensive backs are actually going to have to be able to make plays in this game down the field because we know they're going to throw the ball, but they also have Johnson, who's a great running back. So the front seven is going to have to be up to par in this game to slow that running game down. And if that part can take place, then it's definitely going to be up to the DBs because we know they're going to start airing the ball out.
So as we start to wrap up, final predictions for Monday night. What do you got?
This is another bad feeling game for me, honestly. Just like last week, I didn't feel good about the game last week. And from what I'm seeing, I don't feel good about this one because I know how Arizona plays when they're at home. And to go out there and get a win, honestly, I don't see it. I see Arizona pulling this out, 27-20.
Ed?
Don't see good things. They haven't shown me anything that shows me they're gonna come around. I'm not predicting a loss because I can't do it. So I can't do it. So I'm being honest. I'm a homer. I can't do it. But I will tell you this. How about a special teams play? How about a defensive score? How about a little bit of everything? Last game, we didn't turn the ball over. We still lost. We didn't turn the ball over. How about keeping them from getting a special teams score or a defensive score and play a clean game? And maybe this time we can turn around and win the game. All right? Guys got to make plays. You're a better team than you're playing. You're not as bad as you're playing. I do not believe that. I don't believe it no how. Todd, give them a chance. Give them a game plan. Give them a game plan that can work, okay? Everybody's starting to question you, including me. And, I don't want to be questioning you because I really, really have a lot of faith in you. But you gotta prove us wrong here.
Let's go. Game time. All right, that's going to do it for us. For myself, Rob Carpenter, Ed, we thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you're following us on social media. You can find us on Twitter, on Instagram, at NYJFTV. We appreciate the follows, the likes, the comments. Interact with us. We'll get right back to you. And we'll see you again next week, hopefully after a Jets win.
Do Hooters girls make your beer stay colder and your wings taste better? Do they make the greatest month of football ever even greater? Yes. Yes, they do.